Hi everybody, this is Scott from Ensemble Video. I'm here today to help you with introducing you to Ensemble Video 5.3. So if you're not familiar with Ensemble Video 5.3, you'll learn a lot about that version. If you're not getting any notifications from us, make sure that you sign up for our newsletter. You can go right to our homepage at ensemblevideo.com and go right to the newsletter sign up page. Or when you're on an inner page, for example, like the lecture capture page, and you go to something like live streaming, on the left side there should be a newsletter sign up. So there's lots of ways to sign up for our newsletter to learn more about all of our exciting updates at Ensemble Video. Lastly, at help.ensemblevideo.com, again, help.ensemblevideo.com, you can access the version summary. So the version summary is going to provide detail for what's been happening over here in Ensemble Video. So we are going to be covering Ensemble Video 5.3. And the first thing we're going to talk about is Dropbox improvements, but there are many different features that we're going to go over. We're going to talk about Dropbox improvements, global search, the interactive transcript linking and unlinking. We'll talk about quickly the Italian language support. We'll learn a little bit about what media library portals means, our network camera support. We'll talk about notifications, a couple options that have been added to the video quiz, and then of course the Ensemble Video transcoder. So let's get started with Ensemble Video Dropbox improvements. So if you're familiar with the Dropbox, you know that's just a method for users of Ensemble Video to harvest videos from other users. A lot of times there's student video projects or video contests. So when I log in, I'm going to go to Administration, Library, Dropbox. And you're going to see I have two Dropboxes here. I'm going to create a new Dropbox to show you some of the new settings. And you can see I can enter my name. That is the only required field besides the URL, which you can change. I could add a description here. Now, a couple of the new options is is a Dropbox tracking feature. What that means is I can now add a user registration. I can make sure that they have an Ensemble account, so there'll be a login form on there with an Ensemble account. You can use Active Directory, LDAP, or CAS. So basically, you can either put a login form on the Dropbox, which has been a feature request, or you can have people register, meaning put their first name, last name, and email. I'm going to use user registration. You do have the ability to make the Dropbox public and enable it. Those are previous features. Now, some of the new features are you can choose to show the description. What that means is you're showing a description field to the uploader. Well, they would have to add a description for their upload. You can do the same thing with keywords. Now here's a nice feature. This is an addition. You can say, please display the submissions in the media library. So if a viewer or a uploader, I should say, submits a file, those files will then be shown in the media library. So we're going to do that, but then I am going to show you what unchecking that box does. You can also restrict the number of submissions per user. So if I'm doing a user registration, Scott will only be able to upload one or two of them, whatever I add here. Let's do two. And then you can schedule the availability of the Dropbox. So I'm going to hit save. And now you're going to see I have a demo Dropbox for you. Just to take a quick preview of it, you can obviously click on this URL here, and you can see the Dropbox. So it's pretty straightforward. Now the uploader has changed. The interface has changed slightly. We think it's gotten easier, but I can just say hello upload one. You can see it's registered me because I'm logged in this browser. And now I can select a file to upload, and I'm going to upload a file. So you can see after selecting the file automatically uploads. This uploader is much improved, which is great. I can now close my Dropbox and go back to Ensemble Video. So now I'm back in the Ensemble Video Dropbox area. I'm going to walk you through some of the different options. First of all, you can embed the Dropboxes, so you can get an embed code for the Dropboxes. You can get a permalink, so you can create a permalink for a Dropbox, and you can set the access controls for a Dropbox. So access controls would be putting login forms on them, restricting it to an IP address, things like that. Very similar security and access controls as you have on video and playlists. Now you also have the ability to copy a Dropbox, which is if a Dropbox is working, you want to create a new one for a new course, you can certainly do that. You can always go back and edit the Dropbox submissions, and you can go to the submissions tab, or the submissions area, I should say. So when you go into the submissions area, what you're going to see here is I have my hello upload. Think of this as a subfolder for Dropboxes. So many people who are using Dropboxes wanted a folder for their Dropboxes, and now you have that. So you can see here I have the details for my Dropbox, and I have the submissions for my Dropbox. So as more files are uploaded, I can obviously manage them inside the Dropbox. And I can download them. I can get embed codes for the individual videos. I can add a permalink. I can go add annotations, things like that. But this is a nice way to keep all the Dropbox submissions for one Dropbox in one place. Now, I did mention, if you go to the media library, you're going to see there is that Dropbox submission. Well, one feature request that we've had is people don't want to have their Dropbox submission show here. Well, there's kind of two ways to deal with that. One, you could uncheck Dropboxes in this filter, and you'll never see Dropboxes here. But there is a new feature here in the Dropbox area, or a setting, I should say. And if I say, and I uncheck this, do not display submissions in the media library, I'm going to hit save, go back to my media library, and you're going to see it's gone. So if you get a lot of Dropbox submissions and you don't want to clutter up your media library, you can definitely use that little setting, and you can see I always have the submissions tab here. So a couple other little things in here. Of course, you can archive a Dropbox. So if you had a Dropbox for a certain course or a certain project that you're working on, and you want to archive it and you don't want it to show up here, you could certainly do that. So I'm going to archive this, and now it's gone. If you need to get that back, you would just go in and look at the archived Dropboxes and unarchive it. And let's go back to Dropboxes, and you can see now my demo Dropbox is available. So the Dropbox feature really, in terms of the uploader has been updated, the interface has been updated, there is a submissions folder, so kind of a subfolder for Dropboxes, and there are some new settings. So that's just a really quick overview on the Dropbox improvements. Again, if you go to this version summary, there's a significant amount of information about the Dropbox improvements. So now what we're going to do is go over global search. This is kind of an easy one to demonstrate, but a very functional feature. Let me log out and log in. And now you're going to see I now have the ability to search here, which we've always had, but I have a filter here where I can search this library, or I can search all the libraries I have access to. I logged in as an administrator. So what that means is I can now search all the libraries. So let's start with search library and search for the word mobile, let's say. Hit search, and I get one video. But what if I close that search and I go search all libraries and do mobile? I now get a number of videos. So this is searching all the libraries. And the key is, you can see the structure there. I'm in the Ensemble Video Institution, Ensemble Org, Marketing Communications, Ensemble Video Institution, Ensemble Org, Miss Kelly Library. So you can see there's one from a video production library. So the global search is going to allow users to search all the libraries they have access to. The next feature is interactive transcript link and unlink. So this is another simple one to demonstrate. I think a really functional feature. We've had a few people request this feature. So if I was to go in and look at a video that has captions and multi-language captions, I think this video does. So let's take a look at it. And you're going to see that first of all, I do have a multi-language caption video here. I can hit play, and you're going to see I can view English, and I'm viewing an English transcript. So now we have English captions and an English transcript. What if I unlink this and I go to French here? So now I have a French transcript and an English caption track. So that is the unlinking and linking of the multi-language captions and the transcript, which is great if you're trying to help someone learn another language. Say I'm taking Spanish and I want to read it in Spanish in the transcript, and I want to search in Spanish, but I want to see, I want to read in the English language on top of the video. You can do things like that, and of course you can always go back and link those together. Now the last thing I'll mention is now we are viewing Spanish. You can definitely download the Spanish transcript. You can download the French transcript, or whichever transcript is selected. Okay, so that's an easy one to demonstrate. Again, that is the interactive transcript language link and unlink. Now, this is just a quick one. I won't demonstrate this, but we do now support the Italian language. So you can upload, edit, and display Italian closed caption files. You can also have those automatically created in automatic captions. The next feature is Media Library Portals. So Media Library Portals is a great feature, um, and many of you probably know this feature as the institutional portals. So if you're not familiar with portals, what a portal looks like is this right here. You can see I have a branded portal. I've changed the color scheme. I've chosen and selected specific playlists that I want to use. There's my hello upload. It was auto-published. There's my webinars playlist. Of course, if I click into a video, I can consume that content. I have a search. You do have the ability to view private videos if they're shared with you. So the portal is a nice feature of Ensemble Video, but we would argue there was a weakness. Only institutional administrators could create this portal. Well, now with the new version, you can actually create media library portals, which means it's focused on a media library, so a contributor could do it, or organizational administrators can create organizational portals. So what does that mean? Let me log in as a contributor, and if I go to administration, library, portals, you're going to see now that I have a portals area here. So I can add, edit, and delete library portals. So when I add a portal, I can now come in and I have to choose a playlist from my library. Again, because it's a media library portal, it's only going to give me playlists from my library. So I'll choose the course videos as my main playlist. So let's use the library playlist and I'll name it Scott Awesome Portal. I can choose a homepage feature, a slideshow, or a player. I always prefer the player. I can select a featured video. I am going to use the Kenyan Safari, and you could choose a featured category. I only have one category. You could do sorting if you wanted to. I'm not going to play with that too much. I can change the URL, and I can put a Google Analytics tracking code here. I also have the ability to turn on or off comments ratings. I'm going to leave all of this on in the default settings. You can definitely go to an article and learn more about creating a portal. But the idea here is that now I want to see, have I created an awesome portal? Let's take a look. I already have a portal created, and again, I'm a contributor. I'm in my own media library, and there's my library playlist. Now, some of the things that a contributor can do, they can come in here and go to the design, and they can upload a new video. I'm sorry, they can upload a new logo. They can change the alt text. They also can come in and change the style. So let's say I wanted to change the navigation bar color. Let's make it that orange. And the navigation links color, let's make them white. And let's do a really quick preview. See what we've done. All right, so you can see I have white navigation items and an orange navigation bar. So you can see how easy the portal is to create. Now, the other piece is once you have the ability to choose what options are shown. So if I always want the captions to show every single time somebody comes to a portal, I can do that. You certainly can have the videos autoplay if you want. I'm just going to stick with this option, hit save. And then lastly, in the media library portal, again, you can do this at the institutional level or the organizational level. You can add channels. So a channel would be adding one of your playlists. So Pat Bryant, again, that's the library I'm in. I could choose to show my course videos, hit save, and I'm going to choose another channel. Let's add another channel. I am going to choose to add the student projects in there. Again, you could have restrictions on these channels. There's information in the articles about that. And I can also sort the channels by the name or the date added. Hit save. And now, let's go look at this portal. You're going to see here I have my different channels, student projects, library playlist, and course videos. So you can see the media library portal is now going to allow contributors to create portals. Also, if I was an org admin and I go to administration, organization, portals, you're going to see that I can create portals here. You're going to notice all the different organizational portals, the library portals are all portals. So because you're an org admin, you can see a media library portal in case you need to help somebody. And of course, if you're an institutional admin, the portals works exactly the same. So you can create institutional portals as well, right there. So that is the Media Libraries Portals demo. You can see there's my Scott's Awesome portal that was the contributor. If you needed to help somebody in your institutional admin, you can help them out. So anyway, that is that feature. Now, network camera support. So some of you may have PTC Optics, Sony, Access, or Panasonic network cameras in your company or university or college or school district. What you can do basically is now stream and record directly from those IP cameras. So again, there is an in-depth article here how you do this. I will quickly show you some of this. I can go into the live stream area and I have a PTZ optics camera set up. What that means is I have this camera set up on my office. In the manage area, basically you now have a new option. Originally there was RTMP streaming, but the new option is RTSP streaming. So all of these network cameras, whether it's a $1,500 camera, a $4,000 camera, I've purchased some off of Amazon for $40, and they will all allow you generally to create an RTSP URL once you get them on the network. So you're going to pop that RTSP URL into Ensemble Video, and you're going to tell us that you're doing RTSP streaming. And now once that's set up, of course you can change the on air or off air. You can start your live stream. So what does that mean? Well, if I refresh this, this should go on air. Let's take a preview. Well, you can see there that I now have my network camera going. And my network camera does have some presets and things like that. So I can zoom in and zoom out as I need to. So here you'll see I'll zoom in a little bit in a second here. But the idea here while we're zooming is I can stop my live stream. I can record. All that kind of stuff. So you have some neat capabilities here in terms of network camera streaming and recording. And of course I can zoom in and you'll start to see the power of these network cameras here is I will zoom into this article very quickly and you can really do a lot of stuff with these cameras. So of course it's hard to read on screen, but if I full screen this, you're going to see that this article is readable, and it's pretty amazing what these cameras pull off. So now I'm live streaming, by the way. So if I hit continue, I could publish this to a playlist. Let's say I publish it to my course videos playlist. And I can also record. So let's go look at a portal. And there's my PTZ live stream just to show you it is working. Maybe I should zoom out here in a minute, and which we'll do here in a minute. But the idea is that I also can now record. So my network camera is recording, and I can record for 1 minute, 10 minutes, an hour, whatever I need to. But the idea here to show you is that you can do live capture or live stream with network cameras. So as soon as you get one of those network cameras registered in Ensemble Video, you can either say every time it streams, capture it, or do on-demand recording like I am now. So I was just doing recording. I'm going to hit stop. Let's go take a look over here. I actually zoomed out. And so in the next 30 to 90 seconds, and I'm going to stop my live stream, I will have a new entry in my media library. So again, to do this, if I was to come in here to live capture, these are called network cameras or IP cameras. Again, you can spend $30 on them on Amazon, up to thousands of dollars for extremely high quality ones. You can see by default you get RTMP streaming. If you put RTSP streaming in, all you need to do is put an RTSP URL in there. And that's it. You'll see here in my media library, I now have a new recorded stream here. And again, you'll see the quality here. It is pretty incredible. If I skip ahead here, you'll see that there is my recording. So anyway, now I have a new entry in here. Now this should bring us to the next feature, notifications. So this has been a feature request for some time now, and we've implemented notifications. There's a lot to notifications. So again, I will recommend that you go into an article to dive into the specifics. I am here to just kind of plant some seeds with you, but we're going to go over the web and email notifications. There are different notification preferences and how you would set up notifications. So what does that mean? Well, let's first look at the screen. There are some new things happening here in Ensemble Video. First of all, if you look here, I have a little bell with a red bubble with 9. So those are some of my web notifications. So you can see here that the PTZ live stream was added to my Pat Bryant media library. Is that true? Yes, I'm in Pat Bryant. There's the PTZ live stream. You'll also see that Hello Upload was submitted from my demo Dropbox. So now if you're doing Dropboxes, you can get notifications through the web panel saying that you've actually had Dropboxes uploaded. So you get an idea that there are a lot of different notifications here that can be added, whether it's Chrome, live streaming, Anthem, you'll get notifications here. So how do you change those? Well, there's settings right here. You could also go to your profile and edit my notifications. So again, I went to profile, edit my notifications. You can see that I'm logged as an admin, so I'm going to get license expiration, storage quota, and Ensemble Studio alerts through the web. You could have them repeat if you want to, or you can get them once. So maybe a license expiration, I might want that, every hour. You also can add library notifications. So again, as an admin, I might want to kind of keep an eye on certain libraries. So for example, you can see here, I'm keeping an eye on Pat Bryant, I'm keeping an eye on accounting, Bob Adams, and business processing. So what if I wanted to keep an eye on another library? I can go in and say, I want to know everything about a specific library. Let's look at a specific organization and say, Miss Kelly's library, I want to make sure I'm helping her out because she's been saying there's been some issues. Let's hit save. And now you're going to see that I have Miss Kelly here, and I can now review and see her notifications. So when I go to her library, I can see her notifications. So again, you will have the ability to change your settings here for your notifications. Again, if I log out and log in as Professor Bryant, my contributor, Professor Bryant's going to get all their notifications. If they go to their settings, you're going to see here, because I'm a contributor and only manage one library, I only see the notifications for my library. Now, a couple other things are happening. On the left here, you see there's a 5 there. I have, excuse me, 5 new items that we've done some new activity. There's been 3 live streams. There's been 2 Ensemble Studio recordings. If I go to the library, there's been 6 Dropbox submissions. So if I click into that, I can then go to my submissions area. Now, once I click in, those numbers will go away. So you'll see I can kind of clear those out this way as well if I wanted to. So anyway, you get an idea that there are new web-based notifications. Now, if I log out and log in back as an admin, and I'm just going to kind of give you a preview of this again, there's a lot here. One thing I can do, if I go to institution, or let's start at the system, is there's a system notifications area. So again, this is for system administrators. You can basically send a message through the interface of Ensemble Video. So I can send a message to contributors or all admin users. So let's say we will be upgrading to Ensemble Video 5.3 on Friday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Something simple like that, right? So what I'm doing now is going to send a system notification to contributor and admin users. Hit send. Are we sure we want to send yes? I got a bubble. There's my notification now. So we will be upgrading to Ensemble Video on Friday night at 11 p.m. And I can close that if I wanted to clean that out. Now, also system administrators can configure SMTP for email notifications. So here you can see that we have the ability to send email notifications. And once you do that, you can get notifications about system outages, licenses, etc. So it's really important to know that there are web notifications and email notifications, and of course, institution administrators can set up notifications. So you can see here, now I'm in the institutional area. You don't have to choose to have email notifications for an institution, even though it's set up at the system level. So again, you can send test emails, but the idea here is that if I go to my profile and I go to my notifications, if email notifications are set up at the system or institutional level, I can then get emails from my administrator, say if there's a license issue, a storage issue, or there's studio alerts. So anyway, lots in there in terms of notifications. And again, there is several articles actually on creating notifications. So So you can see all of this has been documented. There is an example email that has come from an email notification. There's a lot of examples about setting up notifications for multiple libraries and bulk editing notifications. So I've not gone over that, but you certainly can bulk edit notifications for many of the libraries that you're monitoring. So let's go back into my profile and my notifications. Notice here I can bulk edit notifications. So I could say, you know what, I want to make sure that I have the same notification settings for everything. All right. So notifications is a pretty neat little area in Ensemble Video. Let's go back to the version summary. So a couple other things. So we have video quiz options added and the Ensemble Video transcoder. So video quiz options added. What does that mean? Let's just go check out video quizzes. And I'm going to show you here if I go into the Kenyan Safari and hit edit. A couple things you'll see. So again, you have that user registration similar to what we have on the Dropbox. You now can add button text and a URL to open up a call to action, let's say. So I want to say learn more about Ensemble. And let's put our URL in here. And hit save changes. Now let's go back to my quizzes and let's go check out this quiz. Now I'm going to take my quiz very quickly. This safari was in Kenya. True. We saw these types of animals. And if you've never seen the quiz, you can do multiple choice, multi-select, and true false. You also can do hints. The grades can go directly into the grade book. And I'm going to answer this. And now I'm going to submit my quiz. And again, depending on the settings of your quiz, you can go back, have the person go back and edit their results. I'm going to submit this. Now there is that call to action. So again, I said that there's going to be a call to action button, and you're going to click on it. And you can see that it opens up Ensemble Video account, so the call to action button is working. So this is great if you had, an anonymous user add content to the survey. So again, you can do that in the quizzing, and maybe you want to send them somewhere else. So you can do user registration, Ensemble account anonymous users, and you can then have them open up a new call to action button. So the last thing we're going to go over quickly is the transcoder. So some of you are using Sorensen Squeeze. I'll bet one or two of you are still using Rosette. Both of those have gone end of life. Unfortunately, those are third-party products. We have no control over them. If you have not tried to upgrade your transcoder, you should. So the Ensemble Video transcoder is for self-hosted customers. So if you're using Sorensen Squeeze and you're paying maintenance, you can just upgrade right to the Ensemble Video transcoder. There is a support article on all the different features and functionality of the transcoder. There's a transcoder guide and an API. But basically, the transcoder has a dashboard. It is very, very similar to things that you've seen with Rosette and Squeeze, although it does have some improvements in terms of the auto-rotating iPhone videos. And of course, again, if you're paying maintenance, you will get the transcoder for free. If you've stopped paying maintenance for some years, you'll have to upgrade and purchase the transcoder. But again, there is a new transcoder for self-hosted customers. Feel free to reach out to us, and if you have any questions on that, you can reach out to support.ensemblevideo.com. So lastly, just to remind you again, all of this information about version 5.3 is on our support site. So you can go to help.ensemblevideo.com, go to version summaries, Ensemble Video 5.3. There are detailed descriptions and articles about each of these new features. And if you have any other questions about that, you can email us at support@ensemblevideo.com. We appreciate you spending the time to learn about Ensemble Video 5.3. Again, please reach out with questions, upgrade requests at support@ensemblevideo.com. Thank you.